is looming for Manchester United as well. But defensively at least, Onana's been in place for these 3 games. The back 3 now is the same as it was in the week against Bodo Glimt. If you add the wing-backs in as well, only Martinez has changed, coming in for Johnny Evans from that match against Ipswich. So I think we're beginning to see what his first choice backline is. It's further forward, like I say, where things are going to have to be worked out.
And these are some dressing room shots prior to kick-off, Manchester United's warm-up that we've seen. And look at that, giant screen and seats installed, which certainly wasn't the case when we were inside that dressing room under Erik ten Hag earlier this season.
No, and it's not what I've seen in any dressing room, to be honest, Steve. However, it could be that he just wants people all facing him when he's having a team meeting. More likely, he's actually is a very difficult change. Not so difficult for attacking players. They play a little bit off the cuff, but being a defender is quite prescriptive. You know, if the ball's there and your defender's here, then you're supposed to be here and you're there. It's all quite prescriptive. So a lot of it will be coaching, as you see again in the warm-up. There's a lot of this is all back 4 type of stuff, or back 3 type of work. So this will be being drilled into them, drummed into them constantly, and it will be for some time yet, because as I say, going from a back 4 to a back 3 is a huge shift. It's a huge change. Not so much, as I say, for the forward players. For the back 3, it's going to be very, very difficult to grasp it.
And is that just an example, those dressing room shots, of Ruben Amorim using every second with the players mid-season to try and get his message across?
100%, and I can't see that changing for a while, because he's all about having a team who know exactly how to think, exactly what's proactive. He's thinking, when can I get these messages in? He's brave enough to say, look, I'm going to have to try it in games because I physically can't do it at the training ground. So they're going to need some understanding at Manchester United. He's obviously, I can imagine, I don't know him, of course I don't, but I think he would have made those points when he was being interviewed for this job. If you're going to take me on, you need to understand that we've got we've got a lot of work to do. I haven't physically got the time to do it at the training ground. I need the support, I need new ideas. I'm going to set up in the dressing room every moment. Well-established players who've played all over the world, played hundreds of games. They're learning new things every day.
And we saw a few of those new things in the one game we've seen in the Premier League at Ipswich. What do you make of it? Very early start.
Well, it's exactly what we thought. There would be a lot of mistakes, being the wasted run because he was in the position in the first place. But that again, you can see Amorim on the sideline barking instructions at him. He's almost running too far, is Dalot, because he just doesn't know where to go. Johnny Evans, we highlight here. I think he wants his players to actually go up and play against them. He likes that. He likes, you know, not leaving somebody to turn and then cause you trouble. Johnny Evans doesn't go in the end, and all of a sudden there's a problem. You can stop that at source if Johnny Evans goes and just fronts him up. So again, Casemiro in this instance are really experienced players. He's scared of that space in behind, and you can see he's looking over to the bench. Shall I go? Amorim makes his mind up for him. He says, yes, go and squeeze in. Go and mark the play. Johnny Evans as well highlighted that, and even they've got a little bit of a question mark in their mind as to what that new man wants from them.
Yeah, I love it. I love that idea. I love seeing Casemiro. I love seeing Johnny Evans looking over to their coach, 39 years old, by the way, looking over, what do I do? Where do I go? But that's the beauty of football, constantly evolving, constantly changing. You have to be on your toes. To be at the top of this game, you have to be ready for anything. We're going to see it today. We're going to be sat next to it. We're going to watch the minds of the modern day and how they think and what they can change, and how their players will look over with medals in the bank, money in the bank, all this experience. They're looking over, what do I need to do? They need direction. They want direction. Look, I've been really impressed. I think he's going to give it to them, and he needs it to be second nature for this to work.
And as he said in that interview, he's trying to find out about every single player.
It was exactly the same, Steve. Changed lots and lots of players. He's having a good look at everybody, and as Joe said, a lot of it's going to have to be done on the pitch during a game as opposed to a training, because there's not that much time to train. So he's chopping, he's changing, he's putting different people in different positions. There'll be an alien to a few of them, but he's, you know, just find out a lot about his team, and it's a big squad. The other interesting thing is a lot of injured players that have come back over the last week or two. Is that me being a little bit suspicious, or but anyway, lots of players that have been out for a while as well have all of a sudden come fit. So he's got a big squad to choose from. And as I say, over the last couple of games, and now again today, more changes today, he's going to have a good look at everybody and then assess over time.
From a goalkeeper's point of view, does it change much?
Give people the confidence to come out of their slot, because ultimately the defensive-minded players will want to stay where they are. They want to defend their goal. But no, he wants them moving into positions that don't necessarily feel comfortable. He needs to be giving them the confidence from behind. Don't worry, I've got you, I'm moving with you, I understand what the coach is asking you to do. Go in with confidence, take the ball at the highest possible part of the pitch, and if you don't, we're here to cover.
OK, well, Manchester United's opponents today are the club just a mile across Stanley Park from here. Everton and Sean Dyche. They have won just once in 31 league visits to Old Trafford. Sean Dyche's thoughts are next.
Danger, more of a threat to your defence, but also your defence that has proved to be so resilient this season.
Yeah, once we corrected things after 4 games, got off to a bad start defensively, but we've corrected that. Now we've got to find that balance in attack. So that's our next step. You know, I think we've delivered solid performances, but now that creativity in the top third to go and score goals, whilst defending whoever we've got to play against, whilst defending correctly.
Yeah, Joe, you've played for him. You know how he likes his defensive foundations. They've got to find goals, though. They haven't got any in the last 3. Beto's first league start of the season.
Yeah, they do have to find goals, but trust me, he'll be focusing on is that clean sheet, and then anything else is a bonus. That's how he works. He's pragmatic, he's honest, he's open, defensive. Of course he is, but he'll
than Everton. So if they could nick a goal from somewhere, they could be a potentially dangerous opposition.
Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it, for Everton? I mean, you look at that lineup, and it is a defensive lineup. I mean, no wonder they're hard to score against, but they're not going to score many goals with so many defensive players in their team. So that's what they're going to have to try for. It's going to be a 0-0 or 1-0 type of a performance from them, isn't it? But having watched Manchester United in the last 2 games, particularly in the European game in midweek, they're starting to create some real good opportunities. They just look as if the shackles are off. Yes, defensive, they look a little bit wobbly, but that'll come with time. But from an attacking point of view, they do look as if they can prize open defences again. So I think Everton's good defence going to have to be
2 goals to the good. It's gone down as a Marcus Rashford goal, but it was a well-worked set piece from Manchester United.
It was, yeah. I think it was worked as well, because I think you can see a lot of the Manchester United players almost making an early run. 1 or 2 of them pinning their men. I think De Ligt is one of them, pinning Decore, and that just leaves a huge safe. You know, the ball bounces and he just concentrates on keeping the ball down. But you look at all the space he's got in the world there. He does well to keep it down, and when you hit the ball.
And we're hearing the new number 2, Carlos Fernandes, is in charge of set plays, and he's getting a bit of credit on the dugout.
Oh, look, the high fives will be going on in this modern world that we live in. Hey, it's cool. I'm all for it. Everton are really strong. Sean Dyche prides himself on getting first contact in the box. It was savvy, it was clever. Marcus Rashford being on the edge of the box, you kind of probably take your eyes off him a little bit. A good ball from Fernandes, and as you say, Michael, there just looked on getting contact into that area. Impossible for Pickford. Braithwaite, it's an honest mistake. Really, well, you can press and you get results like this, he'll be over the moon.
The pass has just not quite been there. But Manchester United, as I said before the game, they're looking only in a small sample, but they're looking much better going forward.
2 from the players. And
convincing scoreline. Was a convincing scoreline. Was it a perfect performance from your team?
No, far from that. We have a lot to improve, and you can feel it in the game. Sometimes after the first 15 minutes, Everton control a little bit. The possession was hard for us. We were losing second balls, but with the amount of time we had to train, was a great effort from the players. And I felt more than the team, the players could solve some problems that we have as a team by the quality that they have. So was far from the perfect performance. I think it was a very good result. It was a really tough match.
Did you work on training for the first goal? Marcus Rashford hanging deep just outside the penalty area, because Everton don't tend to leave someone in that position defending set pieces.
Another thing, you have to congratulations to the players and the rest of the staff. They are the most important thing on set pieces is the staff. So congratulations on the staff, great job. And of course we knew that. Also you can see how big they are. You know, how small we are as a team today in our lineup. So we try to fill the game and to see where we have the space to create danger.
One of your smallest is ManUtd, but what a huge performance by him.
Yeah, it's really big in talent, small in size, but he did a great job. He also has to improve, but I think he's in the very good moment. But I think he's also work about the Ruud. That 3 games, amazing games that Ruud was in charge of this team, help a lot Ahmad, and Ahmad is now helping me.
and you can sense the mood around the place under Ruud and under yourself in the 3 games you've had. I did the game on Thursday. The mood has become more buoyant, more optimistic.
Yeah, I think it helps to have a new face, always help, and I think we have to be very clear to our fans, and that will help. Instead of us trying to look at this result and try to convince our supporters of something, we have a lot to do. It will take time. We will fight for every game like we did, because sometimes we are not playing well, but we defend everybody together. I think this is an important point, and it's very important in this club, because I think our fans just ask that, hard work. And then in the second moment, with time, they will ask about a better football, and we will try to get that. In the moment is improve the team in winning games.
What a run of games you have coming up now. Have you ever experienced anything like this in Portugal?
No, we had some situations last year also, but this is a different competition, because in Portugal you are a big team, you can control better the starting 11, you can understand that you can control the games in a different way. In this moment, in the context of our team, we are changing so much in the middle of the season without training. It's so much harder. So it's a new experience, but you saw it in these 2 games. Everybody is playing, everybody wants this, so that